We went axe throwing a few weekends ago, and if you've never done it, I highly recommend it. It was such a good time. Like, how often do you get to go and just throw an axe? Just because. We had so much fun. Now, I will say, if you want your faith strengthened, you need to take Brennan and Judah with you when you go axe throwing and stand behind them without flinching as they rear back to throw their axe, because there's a high probability that when they go all the way back, they're going to accidentally let go and it's going to send that axe straight into your face. But in spite of that probability, we still had a great time. One of my favorite Bible stories involves an axe, and it's found in 2 Kings at the beginning of chapter 6. It's where a group of prophets come to visit Elisha, and they say, hey, the place that we're meeting is too small. We should go down to the Jordan River where there's a lot of logs and build a bigger place to meet. So Elisha says, okay, sure, go ahead. And they're like, please go with us, Elisha. And so he agrees to go with them. They arrive at the Jordan River and they start cutting down trees. One of the prophets is cutting away at a tree and the head of the axe flies off and falls into the river. And he becomes very distraught. And he looks at Elisha and he's like, oh, it was borrowed. And Elisha says, okay, point to where it fell in. And so the guy points to the area that the axe head falls into the river, and Elisha cuts a stick and drops it in the water at that place. Suddenly, the axe head floats to the surface. Elisha says, grab it. The guy reaches down and picks it up, and that's the end of the story. I know what you're thinking. So what? The guy loses an axe head. Big deal. Well, however small it seems to us reading the story, it was a big deal to the guy that borrowed the axe. And to be honest, I agree with you. It's his problem, no one else's. So why would God be so concerned with something so tiny? Why would he care that much? That question right there is why I love this story. Why would he care? I mean, I often think that God is too busy for me to bother him with my concerns. I mean, doesn't he have a universe to run? Why would he want to hear about my daily drama and issues? The man in this story was distressed. And if you've ever ruined or lost something that wasn't yours, you can understand that overwhelming feeling that he was having. It's no fun. But there is nothing too tiny for our God's concern. He is the God of the universe. He's the creator of all things, all-knowing, all-powerful. But just like a loving father, he delights in taking care of his children. And so no matter what we're facing today, no matter how big or how tiny it may be, I pray that we not forget that we serve the God who cared enough to cause the axe head to float.